Alright, welcome to Pokemon Platinum, ground type only, hardcore Nuzlocke. Let's go over the rules real quick. It's no Nuzlocke rules, of course. Then, yet battle must be in set and only held items in battle. And if the route has a ground type Pokemon, or when I become a ground type Pokemon in the future, I have to catch, and the first one I find, I get. And if it has a ground type, I can keep rolling to get it. Make sense? Alright, let's get started, shall we? So I picked Turtwig. Since Turtwig eventually does evolve into Twittera, that's why I picked him. Now, next up's the rival fight, and we start off to a bad start because I actually missed my first tackle, which really fucks me over, which almost fucks me over this fight. But yeah, we eventually won, living at red health. Jesus, we just started this Hardcore Nuzlocke challenge, and we almost lost the first battle. Alright, next up, I named Turtwig. I name her Hermit. Oh yeah, female Turtwig, by the way. 2 female starters, in a row, basically. Not counting that, it's also circle. Alright, time to fight Barry again. Hermit's level 12, and I critically one-shot his Starly. Next up is his Chimchar, and I just start laying tackles into him, and I eventually just take him out. He tries to leer me down. I guess he's trying to do my -6 leers. Alright, in route 207, I caught a Geodude. I name it Rock, because I'm creative. In Orberg Gate, I caught an Onix, and name it Solid, but I put it away because I want to save Onix for later. In the box. Alright, time to fight Rourke. I lead off with Hermit. I Razor Leaf to one-shot his Geodude. Next up is Onix. I absorbed him, bringing him down to low health. After he rocked through me, he healed, I absorbed again, and I took him out with the Razor Leaf instead of Stealth Rock. Last up's Cranidos. I missed my first Razor Leaf, so I decided to switch out into Geodude. I Rock Smashed it down, did half his health, and I Rock Smash took him out. That was Rourke. Up next is my next encounter. Alright, next up, we catch our next team member, Shellos, involves the groundwater, and I name it Slugma, because that's a good name for it. Alright, time to fight Mars. She's off with Zubat, she Toxics my Shellos. I start Water Pulsing it down. I eventually take it out, but Shellos being at low health, so I switch over to Geodude to finish off Zubat. I take it out, then next up's her Ugly. I took it out with a few Rock Smashes, but Geodude got left on very low health at the end there. Luckily, he didn't crit. Yeah. Alright, so now that Mars is dead, we can fight Gardenia, one of the harder gym leaders. I lead off with Hermit, and I start sending up curses. Because Hermit's the only way I can solve this. After sending up a Reflect Sunny Day, she starts Grass Knotting. As Reflectora, I returned, one-shot her Turtwig, Roserade, and her Cherim, but I almost lost at 6 health. If Grawl went down, it was over. Alright, time to fight Jupiter. She leads off with Zubat, I lead off with Groddle, because, well, as Giga Drains, this is a really bad setup. So I just return it a few times, I take it out. Next up is there a Skunk Tank. I return her, but she nice touches me, so I shut the Geodude, I get Smokescreen, I get kicked out the lucky Magnitude 10. That could have been fatal, honestly, this battle. Yeah, we got really lucky here. Alright, next up, we catch our next team member, a Gibble, in the cave. Then, in Route 206, I think, the one that's in Route 206, under Bicycle Road, we caught a Gligar. I name it Clamp. I had to Gibble to the team, I put Gligar in the box. Alright, time to fight Fantina. She's off with Duskull, I lead off with Hermit. A few bites did it in as I flinched it. Next up is Miss Magius. I started biting it down, but I get brought to red health. I switch out the Golem, but gets taken out by a Magical Leaf. Rest in peace, I had to sack it off. Then I send out Good Bite, take out a few Dragon Rages, but I'm almost at 3 health. Last up's Haunter. I swap out to Shellos, and I start Hidden Powering. I get put to sleep, but I eventually get out 2 Hidden Powers, leaving out low yellow health. That was lucky. We could have lost even more team members than we did. Rest in peace, what's Graveler. You will be missed, even though I used it in your last challenge. Not really. It's kind of good, actually. Alright, after that close fight, next was the rival fight. I started on my words a lot. I should really start writing scripts. Whatever, so everyone down to a few Dragon Rages. Next up is Buizel. I switch out to Hermit to get out the Razor Leaf. Next up is Monferno. I switch out to Shellos. I use Rain Dance as he starts Smock Punching. I Water Pulse him down a bit, but then I swapped out to Gabite again because I'm getting pretty low. And I take him out with the Dragon Rage. Whew. Next up, last up is his Rosette. I picked up this Razor Fang. That means I'm gonna get Gliscor now. I also catch a Hippopotas in this cave. Catch some unknowns. I name it McDonald's, and I'm gonna use Hippopotas because of its stand stream ability. Alright, time to fight Maylene, and besides getting it faked out and get hit with a critical force palm by Lucario, she was an Earthquake sweep, which is, I mean, Hermit got down pretty low, but I still sweeped her team basically. It's a nice change of pace from the other few gym leaders we've had past 2 ones where it could have gone down really badly. But yeah, we won. But before we can take on Wake, Barry wants to throw down. I lead off with Clamp, and he leads off Staravia. I start Night Slashing him down, but I miss once it's a double team. He's wing attacking me. I was able to take him out with a few Night Slashes. Leaving at 28 health though after missing another one because of his double team. Next is Weasel. I swapped out to my Totero after surviving my pursuit. It's pretty bulky. It raises like one shots him. This is Smart Inferno. It leers. I just go for Earthquake to take him out with Hermit. Next up is Roselia. I just stay in and return it, and I get it. And 2 returns did it in. And that was Barry. Alright, time to fight Crash Wig. I lead off with McDonald's to sip the Sandstorm and also put him to sleep. I was able to eat him with a Sand Attack before Gyarados fell asleep. I swap out the Gliscor, set up a Swords Dance. So for the Gliscor, so I can set up a Swords Dance, and I Thunder Fanged him in one shot. Next up is Floatzel. This was an emotional roller coaster. Floatzel Ice Fanged me, froze me. I thawed out, and I took him out with the Thunder Fang. That was a roller coaster, man. Then last up is Quagsire, 1 Razor Leaf did it, and that was Crash Wake. Like I said, that was a roller coaster of a battle. After beating Crash Wake, I went to the Safaris and I caught me a Quagsire called Yes. I put it in the PC just for backup in the future. Alright, next up is Cyrus Fight. I body slammed down his Sneasel. 3 body slams did it, and next up is Golbat. I water pulsed him for damage and body slammed it. He bit me. I flinched. I swapped out to Clamp. I used Thunder Fang to take it out. Last up is Murkrow. He used Nightshade on me. I took him out with a Thunder Fang. The Thunder Fangs and paralyzed it in the process. Yeah, pretty easy first fight. Speaking of, this is more difficult. The second Barry fight on the drawbridge. I set up 2 Swords Dances on his Staraptor, and I hit a Thunder Fang, taking him out. Next up is his Floatzel. I missed a Thunder Fang on it. Ironically, even though I didn't use Double Team, the Thunder Fang took him out next. Next is Roserade. I use U-Turn. I take Roserade out. I send out Hippowdon as he sends out Heracross. Then I yawn it. Then I Sand Attack it, wait for it to fall asleep. Then I swap out. Then I swapped out to Slugma, and I just started surfing it down. It woke up, hit me with Brick Break, and then I surfed it, took it out. Last up's Infernape. It hit me with Brick Break, and I surfed it in one shot. That was it. Alright, time to fight Byron. I laid off at McDonald's. He leads off Marathon, Earthquake one shot, so I have to get hit with Metal Sound. Next up, Steelix. He eats an Earthquake, but I took him out with another one after that. Then last up is his Bastiodon, and Bastiodon went down to 1 Earthquake. So yeah, Byron was an Earthquake sweep with McDonald's, which is cool. I love Hippowdon. I'm glad I get to use it in its challenge. Alright, so as you know, the next gym leader is Candace. And well, 3 out of my 5 team members right now are 4 times weak to ice. But while in Iron Island, I picked up this here Metal Coat, and I have an Onyx in the PC. Yeah, I think we all know where we're going with this. So yeah. Time to fight Saturn's ass. I lead off with Clamp, and I Thunder Fang his Golbat and took it out one shot. Next up is his Bronzor. I Swords Dance up as the Iron Defenses. I go for max Sword Dances, he goes for max Iron Defenses. And he's with Shadow Ball. I start Night Slashing him down, then he's doing a Rock Tomb. My speed's lower, I hit him with another Night Slash. He Rock Tombs me, and then he's lower, another Night Slash takes him out. Then last up is his Toxicroak, and I Thunder Fang him, and I took him out one shot. Alright. Next up is Mars Bars, and I lead off with Clamp again. Thunder Fang brings Golbat down one shot. I did another Next Scissor. Next is Bronzor. Night Slash it. I got they start extrasensoring me. And Night Slash again. They confuse me. And I hit myself in Confusion. Extrasensory. I use Night Slash. Use Extrasensory. Hit myself in Confusion. Hit myself in Confusion. And I was left at 10 health. And I snapped out of it and used Night Slash to take him out. Last was Pro. I swapped out to U-Turn because I didn't want to risk the fake out. I sent out McDonald's and Earthquake. 2 Earthquakes did it in. Alright. Then next up, I caught a Swinub, and I replaced Goodbye just because I wanted someone else for Candace just in case. Alright, now that everyone's all caught up, I lead off with Steelix against her Sneasel. Iron Tail one-shots her. She has a Palisade. I send out Slugma. I use Surf to one-shot. So one-shot Palisade. Next up is Abomasnow. I send out Gliscor, and I Fire Fang it, and I was able to one-shot it. The probably that recoil damage. Last up is Frostlass. I swap out into McDonald's. He eats a Blizzard to get rid of the hail. He eats the Blizzard. Then I swap out to Solid. She gives me the Shadow Ball. I hit with the Blizzard, and I take her out with an Iron Tail. That got lucky. If I missed anything, that would have been over for my team. My God. All right, let's fight Cyrus again. He leads off with Sneeze. I lead off with Solid. I hit him with the Iron Tail, and I take him out there hitting an Ice Punch. Next up is Crobat. I swap out. I stay with Steelix. I start cursing up, and as the air cutters, but Crobat's not a special attacker, so air cutters much. I hit him with the Iron Tail, and I take him out. All right, next up is his Honchkrow, and his Honchkrow goes down to I decided to switch out since Honchko's a bitch. Switch out to McDonald's. I hit him with an Iron Tail. I was only at 7 health, switch out to McDonald's. He heals. And I just started crunching him down just because that's the only thing I really have for him. He's taken out by the Sandstorm eventually. Alright, time to fight Saturn again. He's off a Golbat, lead off of McDonald's. I yawn him. For a clean, so I can get a clean. I crunch him. Then I send out Hungy. He hits Hungy with Confuse Ray. Then I start Ice Sharding him. Luckily, be able to take him out before I hit myself in confusion. The last time says Bronzor. I send out Clamp, and I just did what I did before the other Bronzors. Just Night Fire Fanging away now. Yeah, you'll see in a minute. I'm really gonna take advantage. I had to get a lot of hard skills for this challenge, but you'll see in a bit. I had to take a lot of advantage of to get into Fang moves on my Pokemon, which surprisingly 3 out of half my team can learn. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, his talks were down to an Earthquake. Exactly, shut the Hungy. Alright, Ditto Battle time. I lead off with Gligar, and I Fire Fang. Start Fire Fanging down the Bronzor. Set up to Reflect. Munchlax stock bears. Munchlax is useless like always for the most part. I take out one of the Bronzors. And the other Bronzor gets paralyzed by Munchlax's Body Slam. Makes up a Skunk Tank. I started Fire Fanging the other Bronzor so I can't set up screens again. He goes out, but so does Barry's Munchlax. Alright, their Golbat's out. I swap out to McDonald's, and I start Earthquaking. They take out a Staraptor. It's like, this is a whole shit show of a fight. But we won without any casualties, luckily. Yeah, but so we haven't lost too many Pokemon, honestly. Like, when I was gonna do this hardcore Nuzlocke, I thought we were gonna probably lose the challenge and I'd be on attempt to fucking 5 by now. But no, we're getting pretty lucky, which is nice. So yeah, I think Barry almost was on his last Pokemon though, which is kind of interesting. Alright, final fight with Cyrus. He was off a Houndoom off with Slugma. I use Surf, and I bring him to red. He heals, I go for another Surf, and I take him out. Next up is Gyarados. I decided to stay in and try to get it paralyzed, but I flinch. He hits me another Waterfall, and I miss, and he takes me out. Rest in peace, Slugma, you did your best. So I got a clean switch to Gligar, I was able to take him out with one Thunder Fang. Next up is Weavile. I Dead-Eye Outspeed, so I switch out to Solid. He hits me a few Ice Punches. I take him out with 2 Iron Tails. Ironically getting a crit on the one I didn't need it for. Next up is Honchko. I send out McDonald's to get the Sandstorm up. And then after just seeing how much damage to do with Fire Fang after burn, I switch out to Gligar. He heals, and then he misses a Drill Peck. So I was able to take him out with 2 Thunder Fangs, thanks to Sandvale. And last up is Crobat, and he got taken down by my Gligar's Thunder Fangs. Ooh, that Sandstorm really went well. Too bad we lost Gastrodon. But hey, we have Yes in the PC, the Quagsire. Alright, Vulcan time. Lead off to McDonald's, get the Sandstorm up early. Hits me with Jolteon's Iron Tail. I use Earthquake to take him out. Next up is Raichu. He hits him with Focus Blast. Let me get a Yell. I use Earthquake to take him out. Next up is Electivire. I switch out to Quagsire since Quagsire can take most of his attacks. I Earthquake him down to red. He eats a berry. He heals, and I finish him off with another Earthquake. But Yes is also at low health because of that now. Then last up is after his Electivire goes down. Last up is going to be his Luxray. So I decided to just stay in with Quagsire. Well, to be fair, I can't really decide to stay in with Quagsire. But yeah, he hits me with Crunch, then me get red. I hit him with Earthquake, barely not killing him. Then I send out Mamoswine as he hits me with Fire. As he uses Fire Fang for some reason. I don't know why I use Fire Fang on a Quagsire. I use Ice Shard, and I took him out, and that's the 8th gym badge. Now time to face the Elite Four. Let's do this. Before we can take on the Elite Four, we need to fight Barry one last time. He's off Staraptor. I lead off with Gliscor. I Swords Dance to get rid of the Intimidate as he Aerial Aces. I set up another Swords Dance, and I Thunder Fang him. It takes it out. Next up is Floatzel. He barely takes me out almost takes me out the Ice Fang, but take him out with a Thunder Fang. Next up is Infernape. I switch out to Yes, Earthquake. Almost one-shots it. He misses his Focus Blast, and I take him out with another Earthquake. Next up is his Roserade. I send out Steelix, and I just Fire Fang it. That's the only thing I have. He Giga Drains me a bit. Then, after I get to low health, I switch out to Hermit to eat the Giga Drain. Then I go for an Earthquake to take it out. Next up is his Heracross. I swap out to Quagsire after eating a close combat. And then he's Aerial Ace on me. I flinches of Rock Slide. Then close combat 4 health. Then Snorlax is up. That's up Snorlax. I send out McDonald's to put it to sleep with Yawn. Then I start Earthquaking it down, and I take it out at 1 HP. No shit, that got way too close for comfort. All right, Aaron time, and I set up with Swords Dance with Gliscor, and I Aerial Ace sweeps the entire team. Tonight, I'm mega trying to set up double teams, but I have Aerial Ace, it never misses. So yeah, Bug Boy was easy. What do you expect? He's his bug types. I like them, but goddamn, they're not that good. To be fair, I know about not that good typings, but one of my favorite typings is Ice. That's like the worst type in the game, honestly. Maybe defensively anyway. Offensively, it's pretty nice. That's about it. All right, now that we're done talking about that, though, next up is Bertha, and I lead off with Hermit. I Razor Leaf and I'll one-shot her Whiscash, except Gliscor. I switch out because I know it has Ice Fang. Into Yes, I hit it with an Ice Punch and I one-shot it. Because of 4 times effectiveness. Next up is Powdon. I switch out back to Hermit. He uses Earthquake. I use Razor Leaf, take him to half. I hit him with another Razor Leaf. He's barely alive. He heals. I use Razor Leaf again. Then he uses Yawn on me. I use Razor Leaf again, put it back into red. Then I switch out after I fall asleep to Clamp. It goes for Earthquake. I take it out to Aerial Ace. Alright, next up is Golem. I U-turn out and I send out my own McDonald's. My own Hippowdon McDonald's, and I Earthquaked it to one-shot. Last up to Rhyperior. I hit it with a Yawn as he hits me with Avalanche. Then I switch out to Hungy. He hits me with Earthquake, then he falls asleep, and 2 Earthquakes to take him out. And that was Bertha. Alright, next up is Flint. And Flint leads off with his Houndoom. I leave off McDonald's for Sandstorm, but he uses Sunny Day, so it negates it. Earthquake one-shots Houndoom. Next up, Rapidash hits me with a Solar Beam, barely doing half. Then I take him out with an Earthquake. Next up is Magmortar, so I switch up to Gliscor and eat a Flamethrower, and then I switch back into McDonald's to set up Sandstorm again so it doesn't get boosted. Then I switch out into Quagsire, as he uses Flamethrower, and then I use Earthquake and I kill him with Earthquake. He tries to charge for Solar Beam. Now that was a weird play. That was a big ass play. Next up is Flareon. He misses Will-O-Wisp, so I'm taking him out with an Earthquake. And last up is an Infernape. They use Earthquake, I use Earthquake, and I take him out. Alright, last Elite Four member before the champion. It is Lucian. He leads off with Mr. Mime System Reflect. I go for a Crunch, and the Reflect saved him. He's a Psychic next, and I take him out with another Crunch. Next up, Alakazam. I decide to stay in. I eat an Energy Ball, that leaving me at 44 health. I Crunched, and I switch out to Gliscor. And I go for Alias to take him out, and he misses his Psychic due to Sandvale, which is nice. Next up, Espeon. I U-turn out, bringing it to 25%, then the Sandstorm breathes the red, he heals, I take him out with Earthquake plus Sandstorm. Next up is Bronzor. I send out Solid. I Fire Fang it as he starts Calm Minding and Psychicking. I set up a Curse so I can do more damage, then he heals, and then I take him out 2 more Fire Fangs. That takes me another Psychic. Last up is Gallade. I send out Torterra. I took him out 2 Earthquakes, eating everything he could throw at me. What a bulky team. Okay, so now for the hardest fight in the game. Cynthia. She leads off with her Spiritomb. I lead off with Hungy. 2 Earthquakes did it in. After 2 Earthquakes, killed it. Next up was her Lucario. It hit McDonald's. I switched up to McDonald's. It hits with an Aura Spirit to eat it. I take him out with an Earthquake. Next up is Milotic. I decided to stay in and just sack off McDonald's, unfortunately. Then I had to send out Clamp. She hit me with I used nothing but hit me with the Ice Beam, and down goes Clamp. I send out Hermit. I survive an Ice Beam, and I take it out with a Razor Leaf. Next up is her Togekiss. I decided Suicide instead of Stealth Rocks last second. She takes me out to Aura Sphere plus Water Pulse. Next up is Togekiss. I send out Hungy, and I was able to take it out with an Ice Fang and Ice Shard. Next up is her Roserade. I use Ice Shard, almost taking her out, but down goes. She heals Roserade, sends out Steelix, hits Steelix's Energy Ball. I hit her with Ice Fang, and last up's her Garchomp. I survive an Earthquake, and hit her with my Earthquake. Hit her with the Ice Fang, almost killing her. I get taken out by a Flamethrower. Then Quagsire is a Dragon Rush, a critical Dragon Rush, takes it out with Ice Punch. Now Cynthia. Now that this is over, let's put our lovable companions to rest. Don't mind those 2 at the bottom, they're just HM slaves. I can't really remember what order they died in, I believe. Alright, I believe it was Hippowdon. Then it was Gliscor. Then it was Hermit. And then it was Hungy. And the last person to die was Solid. Damn. You know, for Platinum, I know I didn't have a lot of Pokemon, so it's not that bad. Hope you all enjoyed. And here's the backup we had. We had Jaws in the PC still. Oh god, Mod, I didn't even realize that till now. Then we had Ryder, just in case. Well. Hold on, let me just... I swear though, that Cynthia fight came down to the very end. Like, god damn, a critical hit on Quagsire, almost killing it too. And I kill her with an Ice Punch. Well, hope y'all enjoyed. And I'll see y'all next time. Alright, so just any challenges below. And videos might slow down since I'm starting college again soon, which is fun. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. Leave suggestions for challenges below. Hope y'all enjoyed this Pokemon Platinum ground type only hardcore Nuzlocke. See ya.